Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Chelsea, to the home of my very good friend, Sheira Smith. Actually, she's Pauline's friend as well, but not so much. She's my friend more than hers. But I love you, Sheira. But Sheira, I haven't spent as much time with you as I'd like to. We've been invited into Sheira's kitchen.
No, we were not invited into Sheira's home. Mary phoned up and said,
"You got to do this, Sheira."
And she won't take no for an
No,
answer.
she won't. So Sheira has volunteered to do her grandmother's, one of her grandmother's recipes for us. Sheira, what's it going to be?
Well, it's not quite a bread pudding, it's a bread cake with cranberries and lots of milk, and it takes about 10 minutes to put together, maximum.
Yeah, we're looking for quick recipes. We're looking for ethnic food. How ethnic is this? What nationality are we looking
French
at?
Canadian.
oh, that's right.
That's right. You have a Scottish mother.
Scottish mother who picked up all my French Canadian grandmother's recipes.
Oh, so is this a French Canadian recipe, Sheira?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was Scottish. Oh, there we are. It's a
Well,
surprise for all of us.
We're all do the cranberries with this. The Scots didn't have cranberries.
I was just going to ask. And I hear it's
But they do
cranberry
have
season.
raisins.
It is cranberry season, isn't it?
And did you know they grew cranberries in Canada? Now, I'm sorry, I've watched all those commercials with the men standing about, and they do that in Canada.
25 minutes from
here.
here. 60 acres of cranberry, which is
Really?
the smallest farm, actually.
Oh,
And it's raining enough today that we could go out to the farm and we
Oh,
can
boy.
swim with the cranberries if we wanted to.
This cranberry farm, and the cranberries have to be floated. So they fill them in sections. They do Saturday and Sunday, started last weekend, this coming weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, and the following weekend.
Oh, isn't
I gotta
that
go.
really?
I gotta see it. I've never seen this.
The plants are about, I don't know, 1.5 feet high, and you can't see the cranberries, and they even kind of look yellowish. But once they flood the sections, the cranberries float to the top, and they harvest in sections.
Is it like, do they have floodgates? How do they flood?
They have a lake on the
Oh,
property,
oh.
and then all of the pipes go in, and
Oh, clever.
they do it by section.
Good old Canada.
Okay, so they only grow that high, but the men are standing up to their waists.
Well, that's because
Because they
they're in the flooding.
Oh, they're
flood zone.
okay, now I got it straight.
I thought
didn't
those
get
were
that.
put on commercial.
That's the truth. That's why they wear those big boots.
Okay.
Well, I like men in big boots, but I didn't know why they had the big boots on. Okay, Sheira.
Do you know, we always had cottages, and everybody brings bread, and all of a sudden, we're out of dessert, but we've got lots of bread. So your bread from the freezer, hamburger buns, hot dog buns, stale bread, and we're gonna make a cake with it.
So Sheira, is it better out of the freezer, or is it just stale bread?
Stale bread,
Like if I have it on the counter for 2
two-day-old
weeks.
bread, like
Not hard as a rock
see,
bread.
you're being privileged.
Yeah.
This is 3-day-old bread.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But use up all the bread.
Okay.
It makes a delicious, moist cake.
What if it's whole wheat bread, Sheira?
Anything.
Oh, it's even better,
Mary.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you know the whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. I
I-
hate that.
I-
Oh my gosh.
and it's
Oh, I hate that.
true.
But I don't like to hear it.
But look at my husband. Frenchman, a chef, he will only eat white bread. And
I
he
know. Yeah, and he's in perfect
said, during the war, he said we had to eat
That's
whole wheat or something. It was terrible, he said.
I was doing
it's
eggs
chunky.
for the salad egg salad sandwiches.
Why don't I take
And as
that
I was
away?
taking the peel off,
Yeah.
I was thinking of your instructions to me. If you hit the one end, turn around, hit the other, it'll peel better.
I know.
Now, every time,
Really? I
every
didn't
time
know
I
that.
do an egg now, I think of you, Sheira.
Well, there's an air pocket in an egg.
That's what it is
When
it?
you boil the eggs, there's a little pocket, and it's at the, not the pointy side, the other side. So you bang one side, bang the other.
It comes right up.
Take a spoon, if you want to know how cooked they are,
Uh-huh.
and you take it out of the boiling water. If it dries completely right away, it starts to dry right away, your eggs are cooked.
Really?
Well,
You take a large bowl, because what we're going to do is 4.5
Wait.
4.5 cups of milk. I use 2% because it's sort of in between.
Yeah.
If George was here, he'd be using 3.5 or 4 cream.
Yeah.
This is great because your children can eat this in the morning on the way to school. No nuts in it, unless you want to put nuts in it. This is basically your cake batter.
What?
Yeah.
Was
Did
that
I
4
measure?
cups?
That's
that,
4.
How many cups was that?
4.5, but then when we start to mix it, we'll see how creamy it gets. Because it needs to sit in here for, and then we just mix that around.
So sure, you don't measure the bread, but you measure the milk.
I don't really, I think grandmother's recipe was a pound of bread. Well, what's a pound of bread? So it's sort of what you have. Oh, we didn't break that one up.
That was your fault.
Oh, I got sticky fingers. That's my fault. It is my fault, actually.
Let me see.
Now, what I'm going to do is,
You want me to mix
I'm
it?
going to tell, yeah,
Oh, I can use that one.
Yeah, you could.
we just let it soak, and then if we need more milk, we'll add some more milk.
Okay.
This is, I'm here chatting with you. I let it sit a few minutes while I get the eggs ready,
Okay.
okay?
So sure, that was one big baguette, one heavy baguette.
Oh, so we just
One
have
and a half, I
left
think,
over,
right.
so we'll just throw it in.
Yeah, just chop up anything from the freezer, get rid of it. You know how all of a sudden your freezer's full and it's full
I
of
know.
bread?
Yeah.
I have that problem
You need to
every
make
year
room.
when I'm leaving for Florida.
Make
Or if
room.
I'm back,
Now, this recipe also freezes really well,
Oh, it does.
and it's very moist. And with all this wonderful milk in here, now I'm with things, cranberries. So, can you see me? Can you feel me here? I'm not too far away. So
why
eggs.
are you not mixing it in here?
Now, I'm going to mix it separately because I also have some sugar.
Okay.
And,
Just asking.
and I have a little bit of butter that's melted, so.
A little bit of butter looks like almost half a cup.
Okay, so we've got, now these eggs here, I've got the eggs, some vanilla. We just don't measure in our house, but I can give you an exact
Yeah.
if you want. All right, and I also have the sugar. So I'm going to add the sugar to the eggs.
Okay. Is there an amount of sugar, Sheira? Or is there?
There's 1.5 cups of sugar, but I go down to a cup.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I never add as much as they say, and if I could use honey in a recipe, I would prefer honey.
Yeah.
But it doesn't gel.
But let me tell you about sugar. I have, for the
I don't like
last
sugar.
20 years, it's gotta be 30 or 40 years. Remember when there was that sugar was going sky high in prices? Someone, I don't know where I heard it, someone said, cut your sugar, the recipe for your sugar in half, and you will get the same, and I always have cut the sugar
I
recipe
have
in half.
too. And I do it on everything that I can. Now, when I put the eggs in here, see how creamy it's getting?
It is.
And it tastes good too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's going to taste even better with that.
All right, so now that's eggs, lots of vanilla.
I'm timing you, Sheira. You said this was a 10-minute recipe. Oh, you're doing pretty good.
Well,
Sure, could you use raisins instead of cranberries?
yes, Mary,
But
the
it's
original,
cranberry season.
the original recipe calls for raisins.
Oh, it does, okay.
So it's,
And nuts?
no, it doesn't call for nuts, but you could do nuts. The thing is that this is a great recipe for kids, as I mentioned. Cut up into squares, take it to school. It's breakfast
Yeah.
with a lot of milk, a lot of calories.
So, is
Mary has
this it,
some
Sheira?
over there.
Is this it?
This is it. It's ready to go in the oven. Oh,
If we turned the oven on, it would be ready to go in the oven. Hello, okay.
You're not for you for too long.
Where's
Sheira.
George?
tell me, Mary.
Donna was telling me that she had a wonderful mother-in-law who made the best apple pies in the world. And she said she watched her going through the machinations of making the pie. And then she turned the oven on and put the pie directly in an unheated oven. And she said, her mother-in-law's name is Mary, she said, but Mary, why didn't you preheat the oven? She said, oh, I couldn't do that to the apples. It's such a shock to them.
She just peeled them and cored them and cut them up.
all up. She wasn't very shocked.
Are you for real?
I think
story.
she would, I think that's probably a true story.
It is a true story. Yeah. So Donna said I tried it. She said it didn't work, Mom, but it always worked for her pies.
So
Did you grease it?
She did.
I just did a little spray.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Now, have you ever added anything to it, or do you just leave it?
Well, my idea was the cranberries.
Yeah. You didn't get any further.
Raisins.
Yeah.
No.
But you could do cinnamon, that would be quite
Cinnamon,
lovely.
you can mix both cranberries and raisins.
Yeah.
Now, it does take an hour and 20 minutes.
Covered? No.
No,
just
in the oven until it browns.
That's okay. You can cook supper.
Yeah.
While you have
Well,
it ready.
we have a whiskey sauce that goes on top.
Okay.
Can't eat it. So, Sheira, now you're integrating that egg mixture.
What I'm doing now is bringing the water and the sugar down to a boil.
Okay.
I am going to turn it down because I have to scrape the sides to make sure there's nothing there.
You see that?
Otherwise, we get those little crystally lumps. Now, what I did with the egg is I melted the butter and added the butter to the egg. But now it's not quite hot enough to throw in here. So I'm going to take and away from my stove, because what happens with sugar on these glass top stoves, you can ruin your stove with a drop of this sugar.
Oh,
I
I
tell you,
did not know
it's
that.
hard to get off. It actually burns through. So I'm going to take it away, and I'm going to add just a little to my egg because I don't want it to curdle. Actually, I'm going to just do this because I don't even want it on the edge.
Oh, I was thinking that too. Got it on.
Okay, now put that back.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
And then we're going to add this. Take this off, turn this down.
Oh,
Get that off of there. I think we bring this over here.
you hold that way?
Mm-hmm.
We're just protecting the stove here.
And we're going to add the whiskey.
Oh, that's a good idea to add it in there.
And rinse that off. Now, with a little whiskey on top of the stove doesn't hurt. Something that I really love is lentils.
Oh, I'm on the same page
All
as
right.
you. Yeah.
Are they good for you though?
Lentils are fantastic. Lentils are fantastic.
That's the thing
And
about lentils.
they cook up 99 cents a bag, okay?
Yes. Oh, you mean you do them from scratch?
Of
You don't buy
course.
the can?
I don't like the canned ones. I'll tell you why. They're kind of mushy. I'm going to get a knife. I'm sort of. Okay. So I'm just going to chop this up. What I put in this, because lentils are forever, anything and everything, soups, but they're inexpensive, and they're full of protein, vitamin C, and iron.
Okay. So when you say
Good
that
things.
forever, they will store forever.
Forever.
They're a good thing to
dry.
have in your food storage.
10 minutes.
And George probably has them all down in his food supply.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You want to take
They got a
peek
good
at the pantry for you. So I'm going to chop as we talk.
Okay.
I don't chop like my husband.
Yeah.
But I just want to coarsely do this because the green lentils that I have are brown. And they're
The
kind of,
green lentils that you have are brown.
well, they are sort of a brownish color.
Did you get that?
And so I want to make a salad.
Okay.
And I've got a lot of lentils because when I cook the lentils, I cook 2 pounds
Okay.
and I use
Okay,
them.
so how did you cook them?
Okay, you bring them to a boil.
The water or the lentils and the water?
Yes, and you have to rinse them. Don't soak lentils, but rinse them.
Before you put them in the pot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I rinse them in here. As
Oh,
a matter of fact,
course. Isn't
there's a
that
couple of lentils that fell out.
Isn't that wonderful?
So what I'm going to do,
So you bring them to a boil.
bring them
Sherry?
to a boil. They boil for about 5 minutes. and then I reduce them for about 20.
Oh, so it's
Any
easy
salt
process.
in there?
I'll tell you what I do, because I try not to use salt, but I do like the little cubes for the poulet, the
Chicken
broth.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So rather than using
There's
salt,
hardly any salt in
Yeah,
those.
that's-
Cheryl.
well, there are, Mary, but they call for a lot of salt,
I know.
and I don't like it, but
Cubes, you've
so I
got
got the cubes. I've got the cubes
It's 6 of one, half a
more
dozen of
flavor.
another. Well, yes.
The cubes are a good idea for the flavor, but you are also
Oh, yes.
probably getting so.
Low sodium.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But I love using them. I use them every time I get a chance.
You do?
I do. I love them, yeah.
So that works. Now you can do this. I'm not going to use all of this in the salad, but I want to toss it in.
Oh, you're
So
making a salad.
I'm going to make a salad with this.
No,
So I'm gonna make a
lentil
vinaigrette.
soup.
I'm going to put everything into the vinaigrette.
Okay.
It needs color. So I have red peppers, yellow peppers, celery, and my very favorite in any salad is green onion.
Yeah. It's like the icing on the cake.
Oh, so these have been cleaned and washed,
Oh,
That's a dry.
dried.
that is the best apparatus.
I know.
Isn't it?
I guess I
You gotta get one.
So I'm going to do the,
So is it mostly lentil or mostly other stuff? What's the predominant thing in it? Lentils?
Lentils.
It's a lentil salad with a little bit of
Yeah.
spinach.
and it can be served hot or cold. And
Really?
yes. And if you're going to do it hot, I better work while I go. We'll be here all day.
You and I turn back our gaze to our younger days, not so long ago. Me and you and I, we will always get by. Come the rain or the snow, I am your place to go. And I know, you feel the same. You and I.
So George and Sheira, we want to thank you so much for today, for letting us into your home, and for all the lovely tips you've given us. We did mention the fact that George was an Olympic chef. You tell us, George, were you on the Canadian Olympic team?
Yeah.
How many years?
Or it was every 4 years, so I was 8 times. So it's a lot of time. But in 1984, we won the World Championship, and in 1992 also the World Championship. And it's only once in the history of the Culinary Olympics that a country won twice.
Oh my goodness. What is your comfort food? If you were going to if you and Sheira were having a quiet little dinner together, what would you be serving? Oh, it wouldn't be easy.
It would be
I know.
Caesar's pizza.
Maybe hot dog or hamburger. We have actually, that I'm a hunter too, and we have a moose and we have a deer, and you can ask my wife, sometimes we make hamburger mousse, and nothing can beat that. There is no fat, nothing, Simply just grind it, we put some onions, we grill it, and that's it,
Yeah.
So what is more comfort than that? You understand what I mean?
That's true.
That's
So
true.
add Hunter to the list of reasons why all the husbands hate George.
No, I have to laugh when you say, you are a good chef, obviously, and sometimes you like a hot dog. And I know, George, you'll eat anything that I put in front of you, which says a lot for you. But Rosa, we went to visit Rosa DeMarini yesterday, and her husband is so particular about his sauce that she has to take every seed out before she will make a sauce with it. Every seed comes out of that tomato. Oh,
I would have killed that man. If I had to take every seed out, he would have been long gone.
Yes,
that wasn't the question.
No,
What's your
what is
comfort
my
food?
comfort food? You know what? French fries are my comfort food. When I'm
absolutely.
having a bad day, I love French fries.
Oh yes.
It's just a thing. And why do I like French fries? Because every day when we came home from school, my grandfather, who lived with us all of our lives, would have French fries in the oven, and he would be that's the only thing he could cook, and he was so happy to do it for us. And those are
You
great
did make
memories.
us toastly.
For me, first of all, food is not serious. I think when you prepare food, you must have some fun preparing it, and you must have some fun eating it too. So when I receive people, I like to have a nice presentation, a nice plate, and I don't want to miss anything. So I do it myself.
He's a
usually.
perfectionist.
That's the word.
He is
Yeah.
a perfectionist.
Yeah, maybe too much. Yeah.
But it tastes, the tastes and the flavors,
Oh.
everything is delicious.
Listen.
But it has to be everything the same size. It has to be perfect, and it is.
It's picture perfect all
Yeah.
the time, but so is your table, Sheira. Sheira, are you
So
like
I'll,
the table?
I'll work
all the
on
time.
other areas of the house.
Oh,
Fill
yeah.
up the house with flowers
Yeah.
and do
She's
my
a-
little thing.
I'm always proud to present food because she's always had
But I
a nice. She always have a nice table, a nice cloth, and everything is usually nice.
Well, I'll take you home anytime she's finished with you.
that might
And
be a while.
Oh, you're first in line. Well, thank you both so
Oh,
much.
thank you
This has
so
been
much.
absolutely delightful.
Well, it's been fun.
And I'll come for dinner next time I'm in town,
yes,
okay?
please.
George,
Yes,
will
I
you
hope
cook
so.
for me?
I hope so.
would love that.
If not, I'm going to invite you personally, and we're going to have dinner tête-à-tête.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Have you
both.
got room for another man in your house?
Actually, I do. Goodbye, Bear.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
George.
Thanks so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank
It's been
you.
lovely.